This Goblin Rabble will now perform his free melee action against this Basilean crossbowman. Because Goblin Rabble aren't very good, they only bring a single d8 to their fight. The Goblin player wants to spend a power dice to give them an extra d8, doubling the effect. This Goblin Rabble is not the best fighter, so only brings one d8 when he attacks. Because he charged, he would normally gain an extra d8, but because his charge went across an obstacle or through difficult terrain, he loses that bonus. Therefore, the Goblin player wants to spend one power to give him an extra d8. Now, Goblin Rabble fight on a 5+, so we'll see what he gets. Remember, in this situation, 8s explode. So he's done very well, this Goblin. He's got a 7, which is a hit, and an 8, which is another hit. And therefore, I roll another d8, which is not a success. The Basilean crossbowman now needs to make an armour save against these two successes. His armour is a 6+, but because he's defending an obstacle, it actually is improved by 1, so he goes up to 5+. For each success I roll, it will negate one of those hits. That means that this negates this dice, leaving 1 wound to go through to the Basilean crossbowman. Now, Basilean crossbowmen only have 1 wound, and therefore this Basilean crossbowman, because he is a grunt, is removed from the game. The Goblin Rabble has done very well indeed. If instead the model that had taken damage had more wounds, he would have just removed 1 wound, and if he'd been of any other type other than a grunt, such as a spellcaster, support or command or warrior model, he would not necessarily have been killed outright. After successfully dispatching that Basilean crossbowman, the Rabble can now make a follow-up move of up to 3 inches. And I'm going to move this model to here. The movement must be within the Goblin's original front arc. Now it is the Basilean player's turn to activate, and he will activate the Veteran Sergeant, who will try to get rid of this pesky Rabble. He performs a run into combat with the Goblin. That therefore becomes a charge and will give him a bonus in combat. The Veteran Sergeant has a melee stat of 3d8, and because he is charging, he gains an extra 1. Notice he gains this 1 because he has not run over an obstacle or difficult ground. The Veteran Sergeant has a melee stat of 5+. Unfortunately, that is very poor rolling on the Basilean Sergeant. I'm surprised he's still a veteran, because that is terrible. The Goblin obviously doesn't need to take any damage, so therefore doesn't need to make an armour save. Now, although this Goblin has already been activated, he may still retaliate, because he is not fatigued. If you have not been activated, you can retaliate for free, and that takes up your activation. If you have already been activated, you can still retaliate, but then you are marked as fatigued, so that will have an impact on him in the next round. To retaliate, the Goblin Rabble would be able to move by turning on its axis if necessary, and then making a normal fight action against the model in contact. So in this case, a single d8, for which he fails to hit, and therefore the Veteran Sergeant also does not need to make an armour save. That will mean now that this Goblin is not only activated but also fatigued, and will only be able to perform 1 action next round.